Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. Welcome to another day and another video and another edition of working on this guy right here, the RX-178 Mark II Gundam by Bandai, 1/100th scale, otherwise known as MG grade or master grade. If you've been paying attention, you've been watching me at all, you know that we got the arm done last time, and we got the weapons done. So the weapons and the arms are done, and we've got the upper body all assembled. Now, I have one leg assembled, but today we're going to assemble the other one. So, this is where we're going to start. We're going to start by me changing my glasses, because seeing the detail up close, it's too hard to do with those ones. Welcome to getting old. Yeah, anyway. Okay, get my God hand nippers out. And we are working on the left leg. So I've kind of already got this stuff laid out. The sprues I'm going to need, if we flip back a page, we need B, C, D, G, H, J1 and 2, and polycaps. Okay, so I guess the first thing we'll do is grab a polycap, right? Let's see. We want PC 6. 6 right here. Do. PC 6 right there. Okay, and we want off of our G tree. Is this G? This is G. 29 and 30. 23, 29, and 30, that's these two. It's too bad I don't have more of a Gundam following, because I do enjoy these builds. It's a little bit, you know, they're different than the norm. Normal model building, these are a nice little break from it, you know. It's a different style, a different way of building a kit than your typical, you know, airplane or tank or ship or whatever, right? The Gundams are a little, you know, you want to do something, but you don't want to keep doing the same all the time. These are a nice little break from that, because the Bandai kits are different, right? There's no glue involved at all. It's very rare that I've come across a part or a piece where it's like, yep, I need to glue that. That's it's very rare with Bandai kits, and that's kind of the appeal, in my opinion, to them. It's just a little something different. Okay, so we're going to take these guys, this guy facing up, we're going to take our poly cap, and he's going to go in just like this. I forgot, I need to change the camera angle for you. So just a second here. There we go. Hello. Okay, so then we put these two together like this. Okay. And that's done. I got some pretty ugly nub marks there, but as in most of this part of the kit, you can't even see where this thing is in here. So the nub marks, even if you do a terrible job like I did on here, if that you get that result on yours, that doesn't really matter, because you're not going to see them anyway. Okay, so we move down. We want to take G47 and 48 and 27. So here's 27. It's a bit of a cloudy day today, so the airplanes are a little bit louder than normal, even though you guys can probably hear them normally every time. You know what I really should do is try and schedule my streams according to the wind direction, and then I wouldn't have this problem at all. So I only stream on days where the wind is easterly, and then that way the airplanes never take off while in this direction while I'm streaming. That would solve everything. It'd be pretty hard to do though. It's like, all right, I got the day off work. I'm going to do a stream and I'm going to work on my model kit. Oh, wind's going the wrong direction. Sorry, guys. That would be a little bit extreme and a little ridiculous, I think. Okay, so this piece, I already know. You see the face of it, but you don't see the edges. So it's just a matter of making sure this will fit. And really, who cares about the sight of the nubs on this? Okay, so we take this guy, and this guy goes on like this. How does he go? Those things facing up. Sandwiches in like that. And then these go, how do these go? Like this. Like that. Okay. And then like that. Okay. So you're gonna have a little bit of movement. Not much, just a very tiny little bit of movement there. And that's it. Okay. So that's that. Now we move to this part. So now we got to get C1. Okay, C is the white tree. Number 1. And then we need J2 and 4. J is our red tree. And one thing I don't really show you is like J2 and J4, but there's actually in the kit is J1 and J2 sprues. But they don't really designate that in the actual build. It's just J. They don't say J1. So kind of keep that in mind. But we need J2 and 4. And that's these two here. Now these ones I'm going to cut a little bit away and not cut them off so flush, because I don't want to stress. Red is kind of, it's one of those colors that shows the stress marks very dynamically. Okay, so that's why I've got big nubs on there. I got big nubs. We also need D21. Where's my D? D, are you my D? Yay, my D. Okay. We need D21. 1721 right here. Okay. So, we have our nub marks here. So I want to be able to get in there at the nice angle and cut slowly so it actually cuts the plastic and doesn't just pinch, right? And that reduces the amount of stress on it, and so you don't get really ugly looking nub marks. When you use nippers that aren't super sharp, it doesn't actually cut the plastic, and then you wind up stressing it and it turns white. Hello again, Mega Boy. Nice to see you. I think this is the second or third day in a row. One of the few chatters that consistently says hello to me. Thank you very much. I know I see U.A.G quite often also. I know U.A.G has his own channel streaming. Streaming like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. just a lurker. Like a lot of you guys are. You're just lurkers. You don't actually say anything. You don't talk. You just watch. And that's perfectly fine. You don't got nothing to say, then you don't got nothing to say. But it would be nice to hear from you guys and chat with me. I like to chat with you guys, see what you got to say, hear your criticisms, that kind of thing. You know, it's always nice. Yeah, that's big enough to just blink. Trim that a little bit. There's not too much to clean up on this one. This is the back of the foot here, this piece here. I think we are all cleaned up on all pieces. Yes. Okay, so we're going to take this guy. What are we supposed to do first? First of all, we're supposed to take this and put them together. Okay. And it goes in like that. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then this goes on the bottom. So we position this like so. And then we line it up. How does this line up? Is it like this? Oh, I don't think so. Do I have it backwards? Maybe. I don't remember this being so... Ah, okay, that's why. This little guy lines up with that little one. That's why I had it wrong. So it goes like this. Like so. And then this comes down over top. Once you get it all lined up, it will snap into place. There we go. And then this guy comes down like that. And there you have his heel. And that's why you get that little bit of motion. Okay? Next. See again, J5. Is this J1 or J2, number 5? Well, I already know that these are little chrome pieces off of J2. These are his little hydraulic shocks. That's it for that. And we need G, 45, and 46. So again, off of our G tree. 45 and 46. Okay, so G45 and 46, these little pins, they go in like this. They get sandwiched together, like so, okay? And we have our little shocks, and they go in here. Kind of snap in like that. And there we go. We've got little shocks in there now. Okay. Moving down to here, we need our D, D6. is yet another piece where you want to instinctively do a really fantastic job on the nub marks. And oh, I've got some white there that doesn't look good. Can I clean it up really nice? Let's see. I'm going to try. Get rid of that little edge here. Get this as flush as I can. And hopefully it cleans up nice. Think, oh, it looks terrible, I can't clean it up, it's not, the white's not going away because I stressed the plastic and it looks really like crap. But I'm here to tell you, when you get it together, your nub marks are hidden down inside and you don't even see them. Thank you, Bandai. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have this, but we're not going to put this on just yet. We have to assemble this part here. So we need J number 1. Of course, J is going to be, you can tell by looking at it, it's a red foot piece right here. And we're going to need 3, so we need both of these. Being in the location that they are, I know these are going to be highly visible. There's no way to hide the nub marks on the actual outside of the piece. So I want to try and get these as clean as possible. Bandai is very nice in helping us out in making sure that the nubs are kind of right on the tip, so that even if you do a kind of crappy job, you really don't notice it very much. It's nice enough it's right on this edge, so just clean it up nice, file it down nice and smooth. And it will pretty much, after a little bit of elbow grease, it will come out pretty much disappeared. Do the same on this one. And same deal, pretty much gone. With the old nippers that I used to use, I think somebody pointed out, they noticed that I had multiple pairs of nippers on my desk and asked me why. I forget who it was. And really the reason is I've got a pair that, it's an older pair, they're like $5 nippers. Those are the ones that I used to use exclusively because that's all I had. And then I discovered that when I try and take the parts off of the sprues, really they're so dull that they're not really cutting the plastic, but they're just kind of pinching it until it breaks. D17, I'll grab my D again. D17 right there. And because it's not actually cutting, but it's just pinching, is stressing the plastic, and every time I cut a piece off the sprue, it's stressing it and it's giving me a white mark. And basically making it really impossible to get rid of the nub marks. Okay, so this guy's going to go down in the bottom of his foot like this, just like that. Okay, gives him his nice different colored pads, and then this goes on top and we make a sandwich. Okay, let's line everything up. There we go. And that's that. Okay, so then we take this and we're going to line it up in this little nook right there. Okay, and go snap. There we go. And now we take this and it just slides on over to that little pillar. Doink, just like that. Okay, and now we take C5. And so, after buying these God hand nippers, and I use these exclusively on Gundams only, because I want to keep them super sharp and basically as sharp as I can forever. And so I figured, well, I have such a really great pair that I'm going to be using exclusively for Gundam kits. I need another pair for just regular kits, and so I just bought a pair of Tamiya ones. And the Tamiya ones are good. They're not God hand good, but they do the job, and they are nice and sharp. Yes, the difference between these ones and the Tamiya, these actually have, these are kind of like one-sided. So one side kind of is almost flat, and the other side is a blade, and that's why it cuts in one direction. Where these are two, so these go snip like that, right? That's these ones. That's the biggest difference. Okay, so this is ready to go, and it goes on top here, just like that. Now we take C3, 2, 3, and 4, and we put them together. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. I will tell you guys now, my original plan of what I was going to be doing as far as painting this thing goes, my plan has changed quite dramatically in what I had planned. If that makes any sense. I was planning on doing this guy up in like a, maybe like a digital camo style of paint job. I was really happy with the camo job that I did on my Zaku Phantom kit, and how it turned out. I think it came out really nice looking. So I figured I'd just go one step further with it and do digital camo. But that has all changed. Okay, so these guys, they just go on the outsides of this. Okay, so you just line them up like that. You want this little piece facing the back and the little dot at the top. That's how you can tell lefts and rights, and it just snaps together like that. Okay, let's do the same with this side. Just like that. Terrible nub removal on there. Let's fix this up. Much better. Okay, and now all you do is put it on. This side is up. Okay, that's up. And little nubs here, they go into these little holes. Very nice and easy. In theory. Because of the flexibleness of the plastic, it spreads apart easy. Let's line that one up, line this one up, and when you got it all good, it should go in. I have this thing upside down, so that's why it's not working. There we go. Okay, and that's the way that goes. And so we have a foot completed. Okay, the foot is done. So the foot goes to the side here, and we're going to continue on down here. Step 4. We need G 36 and 21. Basically, by the time we're finished the legs, this is all going to be gone. So you could basically take it all off and put them all aside if you really wanted to. But we'll go step by step. 36. And we want 21. Up here. Now, like I said in the last video, compared to the rest of the kit, to the rest of his body, the legs are actually complicated. I mean, it's, don't get me wrong, it's not like they're difficult and they're hard to assemble. It's just when you go from such simplicity in the arms, and that you can basically do 2 arms in less than 2 hours, to almost 2 hours for one leg. It's a little bit surprising, but you'll see the complexity of the legs is quite ingenious. Okay, so you want to have this guy faced in a certain direction. He's going to be like this, and then you take this with the little curve going upwards and snap that in like that. Okay. Then we're going to take these 2 pieces, which happen to be G18 and 19, and this is where we get more of our little hose going on here. Remember the hose from the first episode? Well, we need more of that. Okay, we need more of that hose. It is kind of, when I was doing the other leg, I actually cut the hose totally in the wrong measurement. What I've done here is I've highlighted the millimeters that I need. So I'm going to take this. We can put this together. We don't have to put the hose on right this second. So with this like this, we're going to take one of these. We want them in this direction, and this peg goes in here. Okay, and just kind of sits like that, and then these go together and make a little sandwich and keep him in there. Okay, so he's like that. Okay, nub marks here. Really, I don't think any of this stuff gets, I don't think you can see any of this. Okay, now we need our hose. I think I have it over here. Here's what's left of my hose. I need 2 sections of 13 millimeter. Okay, so all I do, go like this, and I just use my nippers. So we got 10, 11, 12, 13. Of course, I didn't cut all the way through. Okay, there's one. Now I need another one. There we go. Okay. So there's our 2 sections of 13 millimeter, and they slide over these 2 little pipes, these 2 little rods. That's all it does. You just slide them over. Like this. And they just sit like that. Where'd my other one go? And that's all you do. And they sit like that. And where they wind up going is they wind up being in here. Okay? And you got another two that are down here in the ankle. Okay? So, with that put together, we're going to move on. And we're going to put G21 and we're going to get PC20. So we want PC20. Planes are active today. Okay, PC20, now we want G21. I'm sorry, G22. I can read. I can read, really. I know I'm going to need 23 to make a sandwich, so I'm just taking it off right now. Okay. There's a couple of other steps that we need to do. Okay, so you take this and you've got a poly cap and it's got to go in. You're going to put this in this direction. Poly cap with the little nubs facing down goes in like that. And that's where his home is, right in there. Okay? Just like that. Now, we need G16 and 24. Well, here's 24. And 16 is right here. I think the biggest difference between this kit and other Gundams I've done is the coloring of the internal parts. Other Gundams are all extremely dark gray slash gunmetal-ish color. Sometimes they're just plain black. But this one, they're kind of this purpley color. Okay, so we're going to take this guy and we want him facing with this kind of facing this way. And that's what direction this guy's going to go in. And he needs to snap in like this. Like that, so that this can flip-flop around, okay? And then you take this and you put it in here. They show you in a little picture here the diagram reference of how it's supposed to go. And so it should line up like this. Okay? It should line up like that. And then we're going to take 23, which I've already taken off. Which I need to clean up. And we're going to sandwich it all together. Just like that. Okay, so you have this guy, and he can move. Okay? But he's going to sit like this for now. Now, we're going to grab our D again. Number 22. This guy here. Now, this is a part that I found a little bit of a challenge when assembling the other leg. And I'll explain why in a minute. First, we're going to clean these up. I don't know if I really need to clean this up very much. I think I spent too much time on the other one, cleaning it up and then assembling it to find out where the nub marks are. You can't see it. Okay, there's that. So now we need more of this hose. We need 2 lengths of 21 mil. Okay. So we got there 10, 21. There we go. And so we got some left over. Put my ruler away. Okay. Now what they want me to do is put one in the hole. This is where there's a little bit of a challenge. It's actually getting it to go in the hole, because it's a bit of a tight, it's snug. There, it went in. Now I'm tempted to glue that so it stays, because I find when you're moving this around and moving its heel and everything around in there, they kind of will pull up, and yeah, then it exposes what's underneath, and I don't like that. But yeah, so now we've done that, we got to go to G44 and put that in there. Okay, G44. I'm going to need 43 in a minute, so I might as well get ready. And this is where the bit of a challenge comes in, okay? Because when you put that part on here, you have to slide the little hose over top. I'll show you in a sec after I get this cleaned up. And it's a little bit of a fight, or at least it was for me on the other leg. Going into it now, knowing what I'm in for, and I'm hoping it'll be easier. You know, first time's always the hardest, right? So, okay, so what you need to do is with this in this direction, this is going to slide in. The little spot here is going to go into this little slot like that, but you need to slide the hose over as you fit it in. And if you wind up having to back off for whatever reason, the hose wants to come out. So there you go. So that actually went in quite painlessly, and I didn't have a problem. Okay, but we need to take G17. We got to get that guy prepared. There's 17 there. Okay, so we take this, which already has the hose on it. We're going to take G17 in this position, and this has to line up, and it goes here like that, and this guy goes up top, and he's going to go in this direction, and this one lines up with this hole, this lines up with that hole, like that. Okay, now we have our other hose, and it has to go in here, and hopefully it goes in. Let's try this edge. This edge seems a little narrower. Hey, there we go. Okay, so with that in there, we now have to clean this up. And now we have to slide the hose over this as we put this down on top, and that's where the challenge is, because the hose does bind just a little bit and has some resistance, and when I was doing the other leg it kept on coming off, but it looks like it's going to cooperate with me this time. Yay, got her done. It's together. Right. So that went together fantastically. Thank you very much. They do show you here in this little picture before putting this piece on how everything should sit. So that's very nice. Thank you, Bandai. Okay, now we move on to the next page. We have this piece all assembled. Now we're going to take G35, 28 and 20. Okay, like I said, we're basically working our way through getting all the parts off of here. It's 35. We're going to need 34 in a moment, or at least in the next step anyway. We need 20 and 28. Here's 20. Man, you guys are chatty. Hey, Neil. Thank you very much. Nice to see you again. Need 28. I was just literally just mentioning how quiet my chat is. That's funny. Great timing. Okay, so these are internal things, so I don't really need to clean them up too much. Just make sure that the nubs are smooth and flush, and that's not going to interfere with assembly. And that's really all you need to do. It's internal stuff that you're never going to see. So it just needs to be able to work smoothly. Okay? Except for this. This needs to look nice. Although once you got it all together, these also you're not really going to see. Again, it's the internal components that you just you don't really have to worry about. So it's just a matter of making sure nothing's going to interfere when you go to put it together. It's been a while. Got a quick dinner, so I'm following you on TV. Oh, well, thank you very much. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we need to take this piece and our great big piece here with this facing in this direction. This big hole is going to go here, I believe. But we need to first put this on here. This is a bit tricky. This thing kind of slots in right here like this. There's a little slot that it goes in on here. Okay, and then it's kind of locked in on here. Okay, and that needs to go in this spot here. It kind of 3/4 of the way up and gets locked in. So kind of put it on the spindle and kind of work its way down with this kind of in its spot until we're lined up and we're done. And that's going to sit there like this. Then you have this guy, and he's going to go down here. Okay? And he's going to sit on an angle like this in the lower hole, not the upper hole. It sits down in the lower hole like that. Okay? And they show you now, number 9, with this attached. They're not showing you over here, they're showing it here, just already done. Okay? But they're kind of showing you here how to do it. Okay? And you also need to add D5 to the mix. Okay? So, D5 is this guy here. Again, nub marks may look really terrible, but in the end of the day, these ones you don't really see. Well, you do a little bit. These are ones that's kind of like, I can't really get rid of them. But it's okay. Kind of all going to be painted anyway. So this goes on the back here. Okay? Little holes line up. Kind of cover up. See, this is what I mean by the hose sticking out. It looks like crap. That's why I'm tempted to glue it. Because it wants to pull up. I want this down like that so that it's covered. So the edge of the tubing is actually covered by this piece. And I want to keep it that way. That's kind of hard. So this guy goes in here, and these pegs are going to line up down here. Okay, so I'm just going to put this like this. You can see the pegs for this piece go into that upper hole, like that. So make sure it's lined up. There we go. Just like so. So you got these now sitting side by side like that. This is where I was talking about where the legs are kind of complicated on this guy, especially compared to the arms. And now that that's all together and it looks like this, we're going to put this piece on here and sandwich it all together. So we're just going to line up. You can line up these two little pegs with those two little holes if you're not quite sure where it's all supposed to go. And it goes together quite nicely, just like that. And there we're done. Okay? And now we add some details. So we're going to get H5. Add that one little speck of color to one side. We are going to need this too, but not quite this moment. This piece does not really have much showing on it. It's just the outside edge. So I will just make sure that's clean. And this guy goes right here. You can tell which side it is. It only goes on one side. Just slips on right there like that. Now we need G31. There's two of them. There's actually 4, but it's these little pegs. Okay. They look like shock absorbers, but they're not chrome. What else do we need? Got G31. We need 25 and 26. And that is it. Our G tree is empty. Empty. Done. G is done. And caught on a string. I don't think this is visible. I don't remember. But just in case. Go overkill on the nub removal. Okay, so we take G25. Oh yeah, clean them up. G25. And the first thing we do is we snap these guys, whoops, so we drop them, snap them into here, like so, and then we put this on here, so now they're not going to ever go anywhere, okay, and then this goes on here, and these two little markers, they get locked in right there, just like that. Okay, and if you do a terrible job at your nub marks, you can rotate them to the sides so that they're not facing the front, and then you don't see them. You won't see your nub marks. Okay, so that's it for step 10. We move on down to step 11 here. We've first got to assemble his little hip knuckles, if that's for lack of a better term. So that's off of our D tree. So we need those two, plus we need a polycap. PC15. This guy here. Okay. Once again, I like to clean these up. Even though they're kind of going to be hidden up into the hip and not really seen, I still like to clean it just for my own sanity, I guess. Also, if I do decide to paint these all a darker color, then I know it's already cleaned up and they're going to be hidden and gone and disappeared and all that good stuff. Okay, so inside the polycup, you have to have this facing out. So you put it like this. I think. Wrong way. It sits like this. Okay, and then sandwich it together like so. Okay, just like that. Put that aside. We need, off of our C tree, we need 6, 7, and 8. Okay, which are going to be our last few pieces off of the C tree. Question: are the sprues and Gundam kits always one color or some painted? None of them are painted. On Gundam kits, all of the sprues are all molded in different colors. So when you open up a Gundam kit, you're going to have all the colors that the Gundam is supposed to be, and they're all molded in the different colors. Like this one's white, we got the purple, we got a yellow, there's this particular particular sprue has white, red, and blue and clear on it all in one sprue, right? And that's all molded. None of that is painted. Bandai's injection process allows for them to actually mold multiple colors on one sprue. And so, yeah, it's every single one is its own color. Which is why if you don't plan on painting it, that's why cleaning up your nub marks is such a big thing on the Bandai, on the Gundam kits. Now these pieces are actually outside armor pieces, and so I want to have my nubs cleaned up really nice and tidy. Disappeared so that they're never seen. This particular piece, you don't get to see this edge anyway, so it's not imperative. Yeah, so if you want to basically build a kit but you don't want to do a lot of work on it, you just want to assemble it and have it look decent, but you want to do something a little different than normal, I do recommend a Gundam kit, because you don't have to paint them, and there's no glue required. As you see, I'm putting this thing together with a zero glue, and it's just a nice different from the norm. Okay, so these go up on the top of the legs. They do only go in one direction. If you gotta try to put it on the wrong side, it's not gonna fit. So this one just kind of fell into place right where I needed it, and this one goes like that in the same place. Okay, so you got your two halves together. We got our little ball joint that's going to go on the very top here, which I could have put in before, and that's it. Just kind of sits in there. No click, no snap, nothing. It just sits there. Okay, then we have this guy who's going to go on his knee, and he's going to go right here. Just like that. He snapped in nice. Okay, and now we need B4. What do we need B4? B4 right here. Never seen 4 colors on one sprue. Amazing. Maybe that's why it's... Yeah, I mean, their kits aren't super cheap. That being said, I have bought a Gundam kit that was like maybe 70 bucks, and I've bought a Tamiya model kit that was $200. So it depends on the kit, really. This guy's just going to go down over top of that, just like that. Done. Okay? So we move on to step 12, which is going to be the final step. Okay? We're going to need, off of our B tree, we need 6, 8, and 23. It's going to be almost the end of our B tree. Might as well, these are all leg pieces, and I'm going to need them, so I might as well, while I'm here cutting these all off, I might as well get all the pieces that I'm going to need. And that's it. Other than a pilot and another pilot, the B tree's done. Okay, so let me clean these up. This particular spot on the leg is a little bit hard to get at with the file because it's not flat. had a little bit of a problem cleaning that side up. This one's not a problem. Of course, it's a white piece, so it doesn't show the stress on the plastic. It'll just show any scratches that you do. Okay, there's that one. Bandai does a really good job at where it's held on the sprue. It's going to be a minimal amount of work and mostly be hidden and not seen at all, even if you do a terrible job at cleaning them up. And that's one thing that's really cool. So even though you do a horrible job and you just butcher it, your kit is still going to come out looking pretty cool. And then you can always still do some weathering and stuff like that. That's what I can tend to do. Do a little bit of weathering on the spots where I did a bad job and I stressed the plastic. I just kind of hide it with some weathering effects, maybe a little bit of rust or some grease, you know, coming down, and it hides my nub marks, hides my awful job that I did. One last piece to clean. I don't think it really needs to be cleaned. Oh yeah, right there. And on this side. Okay. See, as I come to think of it, it's like only Gundam or cars or trucks are molded in the original colors. Well, tanks, jet fighters always needs paint. Would be nice, a jet fighter already molded in camo. Yeah, that would be nice, right? I don't think we're ever gonna get that though. There's just too many variables in how people want their stuff painted and built and whatever. Okay, so I believe this one goes right here over this spot, just like so. This guy's going to come in at the bottom here. These two little slots go into there. There is an order of operations though. You have to put them in at the order they're supposed to go on, otherwise they won't fit. Just like that. Okay, we go around to the back and we put on our B8 with these guys lining up on here. Okay. Oh, we got to take our final piece of the H. That's now done. And just like all the others, this guy's going to go on here. Just like so. And he's going to go right here. Just like that. And then we're going to get a cover. And that's going to go right over top like that. And we put our foot in. Okay, so we've got our two little tubes here, and they're going to line up with our two little hydraulics. So let's get those in there. Let's get them lined up. There we go. Put our ball socket in, snap that down, just like that. And our foot is done. Okay, so now we have 2 feet, 2 legs done. just like so. So now that this is done, I'll show you some of the leg gimmicks that makes these things so cool. Obviously we have this thing that moves, and we've got a toe pivot like this, so you can really pivot his toe. Okay, you get a little bit of movement in his heel. Okay, not too much. Okay, now you can lean his foot forward, and you can lean it back, and you get the movement of the hydraulics in the front there. Okay, you can actually move his foot, pivot it back and forth like this, just ever so slightly. Okay, as I'm holding this, so you can see that movement there. Okay, we bend the knee. As we bend the knee, we'll just go with the upper part. You can see the two pieces split as they need to as you bend the knee, and you can continue it more, and you can bend all the way back that far, and you put that all the way back, everything comes back together like that. Okay, you can see that from the front. So everything kind of pivots and slides, and then slides ever so nicely back into place. We also have a bunch of nice movement on this ankle. You can pivot this guy all the way forward like this. You can pivot him back, bend his knee. It's really tons and tons of movement on that. It's really, the engineering that Bandai does on these it just amazes me every time I build one of these. But that's the legs. Okay, so how do we get them in there though? Well, yeah, I agree, quite a piece of engineering. So the next thing, come on camera, nice piece of engineering. Camera doesn't want to agree with me here. Fine, we'll just change the view. We have to do the waist, what they call the waist unit. That's going to go on here and actually link the legs to the body. Okay, and he's going to be roughly that tall when it's all said and done. Okay, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to have to do next time. Just looking at the time, I got to get going soon. So the waist is what we're going to have to do next time. There's not much to it. Looks like we've got that and one little part over there, and then we're basically going to be done, other than the base. And the base is not really anything special, just a couple of pieces, gives them a place to stand with an arm and a work platform for the workers to work on him. Yeah, and that's about it. So actually, you know what? Let's do the waist now. Why not? I do have some time, so let's do it. We're going to start off with PC-14. Let's get this guy finished, eh? Get him done. PC-14. And we need F. We need a whole new tree. We need our F tree. Here's my effing tree. Here's my effing tree. Okay, where are we here? 27 and 28. Down here. Wasn't really planning on it, but seeing how it's just 3 steps here. I need F25 also. It doesn't look like there's really just too much to it. So might as well just finish her off and get her done. Get her done. Right? Okay, so that's that. We're going to need F24. I already have that. We need 21 and 22. Okay, so we just need a lot of effing parts. That's a hefty nub. It's also telling me it's time for me to change the blade on my hobby knife, because it's quite difficult to cut through that. Okay. Okay, polycap in place. Which way we gotta go here? Looks like this sits like this, and then this goes together like so. Got nub marks I need to fix there. They're going to be hidden, so it's just a matter of making sure they're flush. Okay, and we're going to put that inside F25 with that facing out. So how does this go? Ah, like this. Okay, so we're going to have a pivot. That's interesting. Okay, and with that like that, yes, we move up to here. We need PC7 twice. And now we need F21 and 22. 21. 22. Now how does this go in? So we have that sitting there, and then this guy has to face up and goes in here. Snaps in just like that. I want to fold it out like this. I'm going to take this guy, we're going to put our polycaps in here. Is there a certain direction? Yes. We want the flat face facing outward. Just like that. And we're going to take this guy, and he's going to slot in here somehow. Looks like just like that. Okay. And then we're going to put F24 on. Ah, looks like I got this backwards. This piece is supposed to actually go inside there. There we go. So it doesn't actually, that's a weird setup. Anyway, then we sandwich it all together. Make sure our polycaps are lined up, that's all good. Okay, so we're going to have a pivot, although it's pretty stiff. That's alright. I'll just leave it in the middle for now. Okay, so that's that. So we move on down here. we need back to our A tree, A1. Any ideas of what your next build will be? My next build, when this is done, I'm going to be doing an F-15. I have a 1/48 scale F-15K Slam Eagle from the ROKAF, the South Korean Air Force. And I'm going to be building that guy. He's been sitting there waiting for me. Every time I walk by, he's like, "안녕하세요," waiting for me to build him. And that's the plan for next. I need pieces off of my eye tree. I have yet to take anything off of an eye tree. And here's eye right here. Eye 3, 4, and 5. So yeah, next is an F-15K, which is basically, the K means, actually literally stands for Korean. It's Korean F-15. It's F-15s that the United States sold to South Korea, and they're basically F-15Ds, is what they are. They're the two-seater versions. Really more of the bomber type F-15s. So yeah, they're the Ks. I might as well get all of these off here because they are all part of that. And so yeah, I'm excited, of course. With the fact that I'm learning some Korean, and I really love the Korean culture, and just their way of life and their lifestyles. I really like the Koreans, and so yeah, when I see a model of an aircraft, and it's a Korean version, I like it and I want to build it. So yeah, great aircraft indeed. Two-seaters, double cockpits. I wish you luck. Thanks. I actually have the Red Fox Studios cockpit detail kit for it. So I'm looking forward to that. I also have resin exhausts to put on it, because the ones that come in the kit are kind of like, they're the old style F-15 exhausts that have the what do they call them? The feathers on them. And of course, in more modern F-15s, they don't have the feathers on the exhaust anymore. And so I've got some resin ones to put on it that are going to be more accurate for today's modern F-15s. Okay, so we've got our little bits done. Let's go. So what are we doing here? We got to take this, and this goes on top, just like that, and it's going to go in right here. These go in the sides. Where do these go in? They lock in right here. Like that. And then we start assembling the back. So we're going to take this piece. What else do we need? I need F23 and 20. There's only one more piece left on this, so I might as well take this off of here now. And with that, that is our last piece off of the effin' tree. Keep calling it effin' tree. It's the effin' tree. Need to go now. Thanks for the chat. I hope to see you soon on the next video. Greetings from Belgium. Thanks again, Nico. It's nice chatting with you. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Maybe, let's see, it's 10 a.m. my time now. I'm hoping I could be back here tomorrow, same time. We'll see how it goes, okay? But that's what I'm going to shoot for. Okay, so we got to take this guy. Have I cleaned it up? No, I haven't. I'm getting ahead of myself. See you later, Nico. Thanks again for the chat. It's always nice to have someone chatting with you, you know? I mean, yeah, as relaxing of a hobby as this is, where you just kind of sit and you don't really have to worry too much about the outside world, and it's nice and quiet. It's still nice to have someone to talk to, you know? It's just one of those things. Okay, so we got to take this, and this piece goes in here like this, and then this sandwiches on top of it. So looks like we're going this direction. Just like so. Okay. I needed to put this on this piece. Hopefully I can do it still. Yep, not a problem. Okay. Covers up his little butthole. That's done. Now we gotta take D4. This is our last piece off of the D tree. That's it. That is the last piece off of the D tree. We're running out of trees here. This is one piece. I would like to be able to get rid of my nub mark if I can on both sides and hide them both, because it is kind of visible, but it is a color of sprue that likes to show everything. Okay, we got a little ball in the middle there. Okay, so this guy, he goes on top. And the ball socket goes into that little socket there. Oh, and I got a nub mark in the middle here. So let's get rid of that. Goes in there, so that should snap down. Yes, thank you. Okay, and then I'm going to take this guy, and he goes on the back. How does he go on the back? Well, it just kind of slots in. It's a little disappointing. What's the point of that thing? Ah, okay. That's going to be for his bazooka. But it is a bit disappointing that this isn't on a hinge like most of the other kits are. Usually the butt flap is on a hinge, but not on this guy. And that's it for this page. So the last thing to do, we got to put the legs in. We put the legs in on each side. So we'll see how tight or loose that is. Fits in pretty solid. Not bad. It's tight. They ain't going to be going anywhere soon. And then all we do is we snap these on, which is a little bit disappointing that there isn't any interior detail to put there. And they just slide in on the poly cap. Yeah. This is a little loose on that ball joint, which is, it's not going to fall off. I have these on backwards. See how it's got that part that comes around? That's supposed to be towards the back. So let's swap them. There we go. And then put them together here. It's not a super tight joint. There we have them. There is our RX-178 Mark II Gundam. Camera's focused now. There we are. Do. There he is. That's him. Just like that. He's done. Okay. Now, what's this for? Oh, this holds a shield on his arm. So, what do we do with this? This thing somehow attaches. Oh, okay. Just like that. And then goes on his arm. Yes, there's a poly cap in the back of his arm so he can hold his shield on like this. Or, so you can do that with him. Or it holds a shield in a different way. It's quite the complicated little bracket. You can do it like this. So the shield is facing this way, and then his arm is twisted, and so you can rotate it and actually have his arm like that. And of course the shield comes out and locks down. Remember last time? So yeah, there's this shield extended, and that looks better. It looks better like that. Yeah. Anyway, so that's going to be it for today. What we're going to be doing next time is completely taking them all apart. If that makes any sense to you guys at all, we're going to take them all apart because I want to paint them. Now, like I mentioned before, I was originally thinking of painting this guy in a really crazy camouflage color. But actually, as I was building them, I decided I'm going to change up that a little bit. I'm going to do all the white. Does that make sense? Yes and no. It may not make sense on the surface, but I want to paint it, I want him weathered, okay? And so I want to paint him in not a super shiny glossy white. I'm going to paint him in insignia white, which is just a little bit off-white. And so all the white is still going to be white, but it's not going to be such a bright, vibrant white, okay? All of this purpley stuff I want to kind of do in a more gunmetal-y kind of color. Even if I only do some of the parts here and here, maybe his hands, a little bit on his feet, and still leave some of the purpley, I might leave that. The dark blue, I think I'll just leave it. I don't mind the color of the dark blue. I think that looks pretty good, and it's a good contrast. The yellow is alright. I don't mind it so much. It's just such a subtle little amount of yellow that it doesn't bother me. The main thing is going to be the white, and I'm going to do the shadow effect around all the panels and stuff like that to give it that more aged, realistic look. Okay, that's going to be next time. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you again, Nico, for the chat. And who was it? Mega Boy said hi earlier. Thanks again. And yeah, so this is where we're going to leave it. Next time you see this guy, he's going to be all in pieces. Yeah, and that's just the way it goes, right? I wanted to get him assembled so that you can see this is what he looks like, and I'm going to have a before and after, right? And that's the cool part of doing this. And another cool thing about the Bandai kits, so you can put them together and you can take them apart again because there's no glue. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. That's going to be it for now, guys. And I want to thank you guys again for watching, and thanks for coming out. And yeah, that's where we're going to leave it. So hit that like button below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe too. That would be really awesome. Head on over to my Twitch. I'll put links down in the description box like I always do. Head over to my Twitch channel and follow me there, and then you can chat with me just like Nico did, and Mega Boy also. And yeah, so I'm going to call it a day. That's going to be it for now. We'll see you all in the next one.